So namaste, everyone. Namaste, Paul. So today we are going to discuss meditation. So many people all over the world like to practice and like to learn meditation, but it still remains as something mysterious, which is actually really untrue, because meditation is basically a bunch of techniques, but techniques which are not physical, but it's techniques for the mind, for the concentration, etc. And today we are going to speak about mantra meditation, which is also very famous kind of meditation technique. And because advantage of our discussions are always that I belong to the Kriya yoga tradition, you, Paul, is the Sivananda yoga teacher, and also I may say that almost half of my life I spent in India in different ashrams, and actually I may say that so-called mantra yoga in India for the Hindu people and for the Buddhist people as well, it's in a sense it's a meditation, but in most of the cases it's like for the Christian, Jewish and Muslim people like prayer. It means if you wish to achieve something, to get something, it can be social success, good family, good health. You pray to God according to your religion. I mean, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, and basically for the most of them Hindu and the Buddhist people, mantras is not meditation actually. It's more like, we can pray to get something, to achieve something. And first of all, just the first question which I wish you to ask, what is this subtle difference between, to practice mantra, any kind of mantra, Hindu, Buddhist, just let me emphasize that mantra is an ancient prayer actually in ancient Sanskrit language. And now many people know many mantras in Sanskrit. But what is the difference if we meditate with the help of mantras or we just wish to achieve something? What is the subtle difference?
Yeah, it's extremely interesting question. First of all, you said it's not mysterious, but just yesterday I did video by myself about this topic, exactly this topic, meditation, and what's the difference and between praying actually and meditation. It's from my point of view, it's very interesting view, like to think about it. Many people don't think about it from this point of view, but for me, exactly like you asking the certain question, for me it is the same thing. In Sivananda school, it is a difference. It's a kirtan, like people praying all together by themselves. It's not a meditation in Sivananda school. I'm in Sivananda tradition, but I have my own experience in my own no matter I'm in Sivananda school, I have my own opinion also. But from my point of view and my experience, praying and meditation and mantras is pretty much the same thing. Like why I can all of them brings it's kind of techniques also, like you said.
I'm sorry. Can I just interrupt you just to clarify? Am I right that prayer, for example, Christian or Jewish, okay, prayer and the mantra prayer, let us call it, for you it's the same?
That's what I wanted to say.
But still prayer and meditation is different. Am I right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, please continue.
Yeah. Mantras, it's I'm trying to explain for all people who doesn't even know maybe even about it. So it's easier to understand then. Mantras, it's mostly, not always, but mostly, you just just telling the God's name, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Narayanaya, and others. Not all of them, not bija mantras, but all of them connected to God's names. So in praying, not always like that. It has certain meaning. So, but it looks like it's a difference between of them. But the result, it's very similar. That's what I wanted to say. It brings you in the present moment. First of all, it's a connection to God. Second of all, so it's let's say it's the hand, and it's two sides of it. Actually, it's pretty much similar. So when you pray, you need concentration also. And when you're doing mantra yoga, when you repeating mantra, you need concentration also. And also you need to be honest. Also you need to be relaxed. Also you need to be centered, I would say. Also you need to know exactly what you're doing. You have to know the technique. You have to know the words. You have to know the meaning. So it's, from my point of view, let's say Christian praying and Hindu mantra, not meditation, but repetition of mantra saying, it's very similar thing. So, and for me personally, it is a meditation with me. Like when I pray, or I'm doing mantra with or kirtan together or by myself, it's a very similar result what I'm getting from meditation. I'm getting centered. I'm going away from other world. Like I feel the connection to God. I feel some vibration. Mantras and praying also, it's all kind of like frequency. So it's all vibration. It's that's why it's very similar. It's a verbal thing. So that's why for me it's very similar. So the difference. Sometimes in the difference from meditation. In meditation, you have to repeat many names of God, like 108, as usually, like in the Hindu tradition, you repeat in 108
times
names, times or names of
different names,
different names, God names, and that's one thing. And you don't have to do it in meditation. You're just doing it directly through the buddhi, through the your intuition. So that's the difference, I would say. But in general, for the most people, for the people who just started to do yoga, I would say it's very similar. I wouldn't do it like, oh, come on, like, let's do meditate and drop praying. No, I would do it together. Or like he can say, I'm doing mantras, and can I pray also? Of course you can. From me, I'm for freedom in this way. For like, you can pray, you can do mantras, and you can meditate. And you, from all three, like all of three things, you can do your own combination. You're gonna find it if you practice every day, especially with the good guru, especially if you know what you're doing. Like, you're gonna find the way, which way to do which way. You know, like what's meditation. You're gonna find it by yourself. You're not, you're gonna feel it. So you're gonna know
Yeah,
it for sure for practicing.
yeah. Actually, many meditation schools and centers in the United States, Europe, and okay, maybe less in India, but in the Western world for sure, they're not strongly connected with any religion. That's very important.
Yeah.
Suppose. Well, as I mentioned, that I've been in India so many times, spent years there, and mostly Indian ashrams there. Actually part of Hindu or Buddhist or Jain religious community. So that's a subtle thing which mostly Westerners unaware about, but in the United States, for example, in Germany, in Europe, okay, generally speaking, in Russia as well, if we speak about yoga or meditation center, it's not about religion. And people who can be many religious or not really many religious at all may join, and that means we can practice any kind of yoga and meditation and mantras at the same time remain as a practitioners of our own family tradition. It can be Jewish, Christian, or Muslim, etc. But okay, the subtle difference between prayer and meditation, actually in this video we focus on this very subtle question, and many people, they don't know the difference. And I think it's not big deal if somebody doesn't know how to understand where is the mantra meditation, where is the mantra prayer. It's okay, even if any confusion, that's okay, you can practice and benefit, but still it's nice to know that if you put any goal, in Sanskrit we call it sankalpa. Well, sankalpa in Sanskrit means, okay, positive intention or set of goals, and then you pray, let us say mantra prayer, like Shiva mantra, Vishnu mantra, whatever, Ganesha mantra. But if you have a certain number of goals, or maybe one goal, it can be good health, it can be, well, I wish to to get married or whatever, new job, or to promote my business project, whatever it can be, then it's prayer. Because prayer actually, it's for something, for some good reason. And if you repeat any mantra and you just contemplate, well, for example, divine presence in your spiritual heart, for example, or if you contemplate while chanting mantra, okay, just contemplate, the question is, okay, who am I actually? Or just the idea about love, compassion, divine force, or whatever. Yeah, just the contemplation, but know exactly goal, not exactly anything to achieve. Then the mantra step by step become actually meditation. And of course, when we practice well, different kinds of meditations, in a sense, okay, in Sanskrit we call it dhyana, which is meditation in English. Then we use concentration, conscious breathing, like, we work with the chakras or just whatever. Of course, mantra meditation, why it is for most of the people really helpful, because you repeat something. It's like everyone can repeat a prayer or any mantra, especially if it's like short and a simple one.
Yeah.
And it's very easy, and that's good support for the process of contemplation itself. So that's the reason why many okay, let us say Westerners who can be like, with a different religious backgrounds. Yeah, they enjoying mantra meditation because it's clear, because, okay, this is the mantra, Om Namah Shivaya or Om Namo Narayana. You can, prefer like Shiva or Vishnu or whatever. Yeah, okay, like you just repeat it and then contemplate. It's much greater and clear, support for your meditation. We can say that the mantra is a good support.